Hi guys, and welcome back to the Cassie project. So this week we are going to be doing a fun little makeover. I'm a little bit nervous because we're going to be using Moriah Elizabeth merch, and we're also going to be using the Create This book too to help alongside this little project. I'm going to be doing 2 prompts today. The first prompt is create ugliness out of beauty. Choose something you think is beautiful and find a way to make it ugly. I thought straight away I could use some of Moriah Elizabeth's characters because, well, beauty. They're gorgeous. And
I've got to make them ugly.
which should be easy. So I got one of Moriah Elizabeth's mystery figures, and this is from series 1 where you can get a selection of her well-known characters. So let's have a little look at who we've got in this little Moriah Elizabeth mystery figure set. Okay, we got Flobby. I've already got Flobby over there. But to be honest, it's probably a good thing that I received a duplicate because I wouldn't have wanted to paint on it. So yeah, that's actually worked out really well. And she is super adorable and pretty. She's so cute. I do love her. I absolutely love this little character. If you don't know Flobby, Flobby is actually a hybrid between a blob character and a flower. Moriah first created Flobby when she was painting on her tie-dye t-shirts, and she created this adorable little character. So that is where Flobby was born. I thought I could use this 2-page spread to help me make a plan to design this makeover. Firstly, I am going to draw out Flobby and pop her on the left hand side. I really hope I do this good enough because obviously this is Moriah's character, so it's a little bit more nerve-wracking because she's so beautiful. I don't want to ruin it. So I did this little sketch. I've gone round it with my fine liners, and we'll add the colour a little later on. So I was racking my brain trying to think of things that I dislike, things that I could use to make Flobby look ugly. And when I saw the yellow colour of Flobby, I thought about doing a banana. I really don't like bananas, so I thought that this would be perfect. I am giving her this more banana shape instead of this round body and round head. I'm kind of pointing them out a little bit, and then instead of the petals, they will be the skin of the banana. To keep that Flobby look to her, I'm keeping that exact same expression and those adorable little freckles, and there we have it. There is Bobby, the banana version of Flobby. Now we've got the design complete, we are going to do the actual makeover of this cute little figurine, and we'll get that picture coloured in a little bit later on. I'm going to grab out my air dry clay, and before I stick that on, I'm just going to use a file just to roughen up the surface a little bit so it's got something to stick to. And I'm creating this banana shape. She looks like she's sat in a little sleeping bag. And then I repeat the same process for her head as well. She looks a bit like a crescent moon, doesn't she? And then I'm going to join those petals together to make them a little bit larger, and they are going to be the skin of the banana. I need to let that dry overnight, so in the meantime we're going to move on to the second prompt. This prompt says create bleed, use markers or paint and let the colours bleed through the page. Now I actually experienced some really fun bleed through the other day when I was completing the art growth sketchbook. I've created this art prompt book so that you can use any art supply in it. We've got 1 prompt per 2-page spread, so even if it bleeds through, it's not going to affect the artwork on the other page. This actually worked out in my favour. In this book there are a couple of colouring pages, and I noticed on the back of the colouring page when I used my alcohol markers, I love the art just as much. It took away the line work and left the colour, which I thought was really pretty. It was the same on this page with the landscape, and I just loved it so much. So that has inspired me to copy this process on this page. I'm going to grab my Farm Life colouring book. I designed this book a few years back and I still love it now. I love all the different Zentangles and the animals, and I thought that this would work perfectly for this prompt. I'm thinking I'm going to have a cat on one page and a dog on the other. So I've actually photocopied these pages and I am going to colour them in using my alcohol markers, and I'm going to let it bleed through. I'm going to enjoy the colour that is left on the back of this colouring sheet. So I have got the most exciting news to share with you guys. You may have already seen it announced on Aussie Crafters channel. So Di put out this video announcing my big news. So you may have already seen it there, but if you haven't, I will be participating next in the Create This Book 3 biggest art collab. So if you haven't heard of this collaboration before, basically this art prompt book is going to be travelling across the globe to over 50 different artists. Each will be filling in 2 of the prompts. It started off with Di from Aussie Crafter and has since gone to so many amazing artists who I absolutely love and adore, and they have been completing the most beautiful artwork in it. And yeah, I am next to participate. I am the next one that's going to be putting art in this incredible book. I am so excited. I have been keeping in this news for so long. It's been killing me. I can't believe I'm going to get to hold this book in my hands and see all the incredible artwork that these guys have done. I'm just honestly, So please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that little notification bell so you know when this video is going to arrive. Now, as you can see, I used a warm colour palette for the cat. We've got reds and oranges and yellows. But I thought to give it a bit of contrast, I'm going to use cooler colours for the dog. So I've got blues and purples and greens. And I thought that that would look really nice side by side, having the contrasting colours against each other. Stick around till the end to see how this page turns out, because I'm not sure how it's going to look. I just hope it doesn't look unfinished without the line work. So now my figure is dry, I'm going to grab out my gesso, and this is going to provide a base layer. This will allow the paint to stick to that clay really nicely. It kind of roughs it up a little bit, which just helps that paint to adhere to it. While the gesso dries, I want to plan the colours. So let's go back to Create This Book 2. Now I wanted to bring all the colours of Flobby onto that background. Oh no! Oh, so annoying. Don't you just hate it when you transfer paint from your hand onto your artwork? And the worst thing is, that was supposed to be white. I was just going to leave that blank, and now I'm going to have to colour it in. I'll just have to correct that later on. But anyway, as I was saying, I wanted to use the colours of Flobby to create this lovely blended background. We've gone from yellow to white to pink. And to correct that mistake, I'm going in with a grey colour, so it's kind of like the shaded area of the Polaroid picture, which worked really nicely because I also copied that technique with the arrow. We've gone from this dark grey through to this white colour, and I actually really love that there's loads of different blends on this page. So I'm going to colour Flobby in with her usual colours. We've got this lovely yellowy colour. I've added a lighter yellow to her belly and to the centre of her face, just to give her a little bit more of a 3D shape, and then I've coloured in those little petals. I thought I would use this lovely mint green colour to colour in the background of the Polaroid. I thought that this would really contrast against those yellows and pinks, and I've done the same for the picture of Bobby. Now I want Bobby to be familiar. I want it to kind of resemble Flobby, you know, look like Flobby's weird cousin. So I'm going to use the colours to do that. So we've got the same yellows, and then I'm going to bring in that pink by creating a flower crown for her. I'm starting to wonder if she's quite cute actually. So now we know what colours we're going to use. I am going to paint our lovely little figurine. I'm going in with this base of yellow all over her, and then I'm going to add the lighter yellows and the darker yellows. I'm just going to go in with acrylic paint for this, and I'm using a lighter yellow for the inside of the banana and the inside of the skin. When I added the face, I popped the eyes on there and did the blush, and then I realised that they were far too high up and they were too close together, so I'm going to have to redo that. So I went over that with gesso, re-put the paint on, added some blush, and then I thought I would do the flower crown first so that I can see where those eyes are going to go. I made them a little bit further apart this time as well. And I'm adding that cute little flobby expression, that meh expression, those little juicy highlights in the eyes. I also added some white flowers into her little flower crown. Before that final reveal, let's finish off that last prompt. Here are my pictures. Let's turn them over and have a look.
Dun dun dun.
I'm just adding a little suspense just to make it a bit more exciting.
Drama.
Drama. Visual poetry.
I'm actually really pleased with the bleed through. I think it looks really nice. I'm going to cut out these little circles and I'm going to place them on the page using my decoupage glue. This is similar to a matte Mod Podge, and I'm going over that as well to make sure it's fully sealed in. I then thought I would go around those circles with some black paint just to finish it off, and I'm bringing that prompt back in there. So there you go. I'm actually really pleased with that page. I don't think it looks too unfinished. Let me know in the comments what you think. And of course, our wonderful Moriah Elizabeth figurine, Flobby, turned into Bobby. Isn't it beautiful? Let me know in the comments, do you think I made it ugly? It's okay if you do, because I think it's pretty ugly too. I find it hard to find bananas cute. Let me know if you do find it cute still. I'm not sure. Or does it just look like Flobby's weird cousin? I think so. I hope you're not too disappointed in me for ruining Moriah Elizabeth merch. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope it's inspired you to get creative. Do carry on watching some more videos over here. I will pop in a lovely Create This Book playlist for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.